Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Pictures in the Park. My name is Mark Parsons, and I'm the pastor down at Beaumaris Community Baptist Church. We're a small church community that meet in the Beaumaris Community Hall just outside the IGA on Constellation Drive. And we meet on Sundays at 10 o'clock, and you're welcome anytime to come and join us as we think about God and faith and life. And each night we like to put on Pictures in the Park as a way of getting to know you, our community, as a way of serving our community, because it's something that we all enjoy to do together. And each night I also like to share something about what people in the community have been talking to me about, concerns that they have about faith and religion. And tonight I want to think about the question that people are addressing, which is they believe that it doesn't matter which religion you believe, because all religions are essentially the same. They all lead to the same God. They all lead to the same place. And I wonder if you've heard people say that, that all religions are essentially the same. Well, that's actually a myth, because the reason we have different religions is because each of them is built on different foundations, different foundational truths that they all hold to that are quite different. They all have different ideas about who God is, different ideas about what we have to do to gain eternal life, different ideas about what it means to be saved, different ideas about how we should be in relationship with God, different ideas about how to find hope and eternal life. And here's a short video that I want us to take a moment to have a look at that sort of addresses this question of what are the major differences in terms of the fundamental beliefs of how do we have relationship with God, and how can we have life on the other side, eternal life. So have a look at this.
A man fell in a hole. He fell in a hole and he couldn't get out. A traveler passed by. He told the man to meditate, to purify his mind, and when he reached nirvana, all suffering would cease. The man did as he was told, but he remained in the hole. Another man appeared. He explained that the hole didn't exist, and neither, in fact, did the man. It was all an illusion. The man who did not exist was still stuck in the hole that was not there. Another visitor arrived. He instructed the man to perform good deeds to improve his karma, and though he would still die in the hole, he might be reincarnated as something magnificent. Another man looked down from above. He taught the man to pray 5 times a day facing east and to follow 5 important tenets. If he was faithful, one day, perhaps, the divine would set him free. The man prayed as best he could, but he was losing strength, and in the hole he remained. Another man appeared. There was something different about him. He called down to the man in the hole and asked him if he wanted to be free. This man lowered himself into the earth, into the pit. He took hold of the man and dragged him into the light. And the man in the hole, who could not get himself out, was saved.
Well, I wonder if you got what the DVD was pointing out. You see, being in the hole represents being here on earth and being separated from eternal life. It represents being here and not being able to have life on the other side with God. And the different faiths, I wonder if you picked it up, had different ideas about what we must do in order to get out of the hole, in order to have eternal life. And I wonder if you noticed the major differences between the first few ideas and then some of the premises and ideas of the Christian faith. Well, in the other faith systems, the major assumption is that salvation is all about what we do, that we need to pray more, that we need to believe something more, that we need to meditate more. But you see, the Christian faith is not about what we do to get ourselves out of the hole, but rather what God has done. It talks about how Jesus came into the earth, became part of our world, took upon himself the things that got us in the hole in the first place, sin and death, and then in his resurrection drags us out of this world into eternal life. You see, and so Christianity reminds us that our salvation doesn't depend on how good we have been, but on how good God has been to us through his Son Jesus. You see, now, that is very different from religion, isn't it? Because religion is about what we do for God, but Christianity is about what God has done for us. So the next time somebody says to you, I think that all religions are essentially the same, why don't you say, I think that's really a myth, because there really are some fundamentally different ideas about how to have eternal life in relationship with God. And the one that is part of the Bible and the Christian faith is that life with God depends on him and his grace. Well, I hope that encourages you to do a little bit more thinking about Jesus and his life and what it means to you. And if you want to do some more exploration, there are free copies of The Essential Jesus on the table, and we'd like you to help yourself to that. That's Luke's biography, Luke's account of who Jesus was and what his message was. Well, thanks everyone for having a listen again tonight, and hope you have a wonderful night out, and we'll catch you soon. Good night.